Stop whining now? Do you have any idea how rare an opportunity like this is for a small-time paper like ours? Just think of the sales if we can get an exclusive. We'd have enough to cover your salary for 2 lifetimes.
But what about us pretending to be from the Steambird? Aren't you worried she'll find out?
You really think she still would have talked to you if I hadn't told that little white lie? Besides, what have you got to be afraid of? As long as we make it sound like an eyewitness account, how will she be able to refute it? Heck, if she actually presses the issue, I'll probably have to thank her for keeping it current for me.
This is horrible. I will not let you treat Miss Yun like this.
I don't know who she thinks she is anyway.
Oh, I sang a couple of shows, so now I'm a national superstar.
Give me a break. No one wants to read about your sopranos or your falsettos. We give the readers what they want. That's how this business works. Case in point, that blonde guy seemed to be getting along pretty well with Yunjin. There's definitely a story there, even if there isn't.
Ugh, that's enough! I'm reporting you to the Millilith!
Report me? What for? Libel? Identity theft? Good luck with that. I haven't written anything. Where's your proof? You'd better tread carefully, Missy. First you neglect your own duties, and now you're trying to get in the way of mine? You signed the contract. You know full well the consequences. If you sabotage this interview, I will make sure you lose everything you have. I will ruin you. You understand?
Why? Oh, why did I sign that contract?
Well, think very carefully about what you're going to do. This is a rare opportunity. Now, I need to think how to phrase these interview questions.
You... Hey, wait!
Did you find anything out? I see. I knew there was something fishy about that editor-in-chief. But this is a bigger plot twist than I expected. Not yet. All he's done so far is ask a few questions. There's nothing in print yet. The Millilith wouldn't be able to do anything even if we got them involved. Besides, if we rush to report him now, it's only going to give him more material to write about. You're right, but tabloids like theirs never have permanent offices and printing presses. The moment they hear anything, they'll disappear without a trace, and you've got no chance of catching them. I'm actually more concerned about another detail you told me. Would you be willing to do me another favor? I want to send a letter to that. Great, thank you. The editor should be here soon, so I'll stay here to deal with him. I'll have to rely on you to deliver the letter. If everything goes well, we should be able to get some breathing room for a while.
I've had it with you. Do you think contracts are just bits of paper? If we weren't on a tight deadline, you'd better believe I'd fire you right here on the spot. You will stay here and reflect on your actions if you know what's good for you. Sorry, but I'm not babysitting you anymore today.
Oh, what am I going to do? You're the one who was with Miss Yun earlier. Oh, really? Miss Yun wrote me a letter? Oh, I'll read it right away. Wow. Really? I can't believe this. Miss Yun says that under Liyue law, any penalty charge I have to pay may not substantially exceed the amount of my salary. You can't have a labor contract that would completely bankrupt the employee in the event of a breach. It's not legally binding. So not only can he not get any money off of me, I can take this contract to the Ministry of Civil Affairs and blow the whistle on him. I didn't think about any of this when I was job hunting. I just signed the contract without a second thought. I always thought Miss Yun was all about opera. Who would have thought she was such a legal expert, too? If only I hadn't gone out of my way to get Miss Yun's attention in the first place, none of this would have happened. I didn't expect it to end up with Miss Yun helping fix my life problems. Well, Mr. Boyi says I'm still on probation, so he won't tell me where their work location is. Plus, I give all my draft articles straight to him, so I don't have anything in the way of evidence. But the letter says that my statement and the contract are enough to get the Millilith looking into it. If Miss Yun says so, I'm sure she must be right. Let's go confront him right now.
Okay, I think I've covered this topic pretty thoroughly now. Unless you had any more questions?
Well, what can I say, Miss Yun? You have so many wonderful qualities. Let's not quit while the ball's rolling, huh? Otherwise, I'll think of something I didn't ask later, and by then, it'll be too late. So, hey, where's that, friend of yours who was here earlier? You guys seemed, pretty close. Not intentionally avoiding the interview, surely.
You're finally back. This poor gentleman's been waiting for you.
You're with Shiryun? Hey, what's going on here? Hey, Shiryun, don't forget the contract you signed.
The Traveler clued me in. This contract you made me sign? It isn't worth the paper it's written on.
Isn't worth the paper it's written on? Don't be ridiculous. It's all there, clear as day. Don't you think I did my research?
Research? Oh, so you're a news editor. But you also have an interest in law?
Yeah, she's new, and she's making a fool of herself. She doesn't get how this all works. My apologies. Now, back to our interview?
No, it's okay. In fact, I found myself delving into some legal texts recently. It's all so intricate and complicated that it's very difficult to take it all in. The contracts of our opera troupe are a case in point. I'd finally finished reading through the relevant documentation from the Yuehai Pavilion when suddenly the Qixing announced a new interpretation. So I'm just curious. How can you be completely sure that you didn't miss anything when you were researching this?
I'm pretty sure I read everything relevant.
Under current legislation, the penalty terms in my labor contract are unreasonable and exploitative. I could report you to the Millilith for extortion.
Nonsense! That's ridiculous!
My goodness. Sir, it seems that we should probably bring this interview to a close here.
Don't listen to her! I run a legitimate business. Everything we do is above board.
Oh, I have no doubt about that at all, sir. But this reminds me of a case I read about not long ago. Once you get reported and the Millilith starts scrutinizing your business, well, not only do they look into every license you have and every work you've ever published, but everything down to your fire safety policy will come under their magnifying glass as well. So if you don't get back now and start preparing for their arrival... Well, I mean, I don't mind continuing the interview at all. but I'd hate to take up too much of your precious time if there's any aspect of your business you want to double-check from a legal standpoint.
You? I won't forget this!
Hey, where do you think you're going? Miss Yun, why did you stop me? Right, and the contract I have is enough to get him arrested, isn't it?
I'm not a legal expert. I haven't the faintest idea. All that was just an act, aimed at getting him to show us the way.
An act? Show us the way to what? Yoonjin, the Millilith are after him. Based on his movements, it looks like Boyi is heading back to his headquarters. I really hope they teach these tabloids a lesson they won't forget. It'd sure make my life a lot easier.
Yes, I had Yunning report to the Millilith while you were delivering the letter for me. The penalty terms in Shuyun's contract are too severe. Even if they don't violate the law, I'm sure he must be taking advantage of some loopholes. Anyone who works like that is sure to have a guilty conscience. So all I had to do was put on a little show, starring the editor-in-chief of the Steambird. And now, he is sure to lead us to the solid evidence. Well, acting has to be authentic to be believable.
Their little publication will go out of business in no time. Good riddance, I say. I hope this gets the other tabloids to rein in their antics, too. Hey, here's a thought. Maybe we could get him to rat on some of his rival publications. Ah, I only just realized what this means. I'm going to be out of a job, aren't I?
Well, would you still be interested in submitting an article to the Steambird? But the real one this time?
Well, yes, of course. But would they really accept an article from me?
Yunning, when can we arrange the next interview for?
Oh, so now you're asking me. 2 days from now, morning. Work for you?
Okay. Shuyun, let's continue our discussion about tonight's play 2 days from now.
Does this mean I get to do a full feature interview with you? Okay, I think I know what I want to write about. Thank you, Miss Yun.
Don't mention it. I'm sure it will be a source of inspiration for both of us.